Hello, welcome to Fiber Town. This is episode 101, and it's the 5th of March, 2015. I'm Emily. You can find me on Rav as Chain of Fools, and I'm Fiber Town with an R-E on Instagram. And where else? Instagram. I'm here today with Alice. She's happy to be here too. It is a Thursday, and it's a snow day. I think the last time I recorded, it was a snow day also. Yeah, let me just show you out the window. Okay. Apologies for any motion sickness. And let me see. Let me just turn the camera around rather. Okay, you can see. Can you see the snow falling? That is the porch right there, where I record often in the summer. And can you see the flakes? Yeah, it is a bona fide storm. There's my loom right there. My goodness. Still a work in progress on there. And you can see the out on the porch, there is a ceiling fan covered in a garbage bag. Yay! So Alice she's a huge nuisance. She's got cabin fever. Although we did go for walkies today, she put on her Noro coat. Yeah. And okay, we're gonna have a conversation about the walkies. Yeah, she put on her Noro coat and her collar and her leash, and we went walkies in the snow. Actually, she went off leash because not a lot of cars around in this weather. It's a bona fide blizzard. I know. About 8 inches. And it's March. And about this time of year in DC, the cherry blossoms are getting, I know she's excited now. The cherry blossoms are getting ready to come out around the tidal basin. Not this year. We have crocus and what else? Forsythia and daffodils usually in February. Nothing this year. It is, winter has come, the long, long winter, as in Game of Thrones winter. That's what it feels like. Okay, enough about that. I hope you're warm and enjoying your weather wherever you are. So, 2 folks said hello this week on the introductions thread. I'm going to try to say this name. I'm going to screw it up, but I'm sorry. I can't speak German. Schnoo Feltier, who is Theresia from Germany. Sorry. You'll have to tell me how to say that. She is the host of the Passionate Spinner podcast. And check her out. I have subscribed on YouTube. I haven't watched yet. I just pressed the subscribe button, but yay, she's an international podcast, and she knits and spins, looks like. And then we have May Rillam, who is Andrea from Florida, and she's a knitter who wants to learn how to spin in the future, and she likes to watch knitting podcasts with spinning content and sort of treats it as like research before she gets into the craft. So that's very cool. Welcome to Theresia and Andrea. Thank you for saying hello. Okay, so the February finished objects thread is closed. It's March, obviously. And we have a winner. It's number 322, who is Shea Bear. Shea Bear, send me a PM and tell me which pattern you would like to be gifted, up to the value of $7. So, congratulations. March is cowls. You can put any FO you would like in the March thread, but cowls are the item this month. And so you can put a cowl finished object in twice. Now, if you knit it out of handspun, you get a 3rd entry. It doesn't have to be your handspun. It could be just any handspun. And you've probably guessed that I'm knitting a handspun cowl. It's one of my new works in progress. Okay. My last episode was number 100. And that means, Alice, that we have giveaways. More giveaways to do. So, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the incredibly kind words that brought a smile to my face every day when I got a little ping that I had a new Rav, a new message in the Rav thread, and they were just lovely. And they helped me, not only were they filled my bucket, as it were, as the net girls say, they were helpful for me to know what people value in my podcast. So, what? What did I say? The head just spins on an axis. And yes, most of you mentioned Alice. Yeah, that's your name. Alice is your name. Sorry. Alice is your name. I love to play with her. Okay, so without further ado, there might be some further ado, I don't know, but ideally there will be no further ado. Okay, let's see. The yarn winners, are you ready? Okay. Number 66, Owl's Flight. She won the rainbow yarn from A Riot of Color. Congratulations. PM me. For everybody who wins, PM me. I will point you in the right direction. Because I am not in possession of most of these things. Otherwise, my bank would be broken with the shipping. But PM me and I'll get you in the right place. The winner of the amazing Regia skein, which is gorgeous, and that's donated by, of course, the rainbow skein is from A Riot of Color. Thank you so much for that. And let's see, number 60 is the person who's winning the Regia, and that's Amy Loris. PM me, you're the lucky winner, and that's coming to you from Germany. Thank you, Flonos, my friend Sarah, who's donating that. Then we have, this is for the fiber optic braids. And they were donated by my fairy fiber mother. I have them here, so I will be sending them out. That is number 57, Cat Straight. Congratulations, you have 2 fiber optic braids. I have them right here. This is a Super Wash Merino Bamboo, so pretty. And then this is the, let's see, Ebony to Holly gradient. So just neutrals, beautiful neutrals. Okay, let's see. Oh, the winner of the Wandering Wool was number 50. So you will be getting 1 skein of Wandering Wool, and that's Eve M. Lizia. Congratulations! We're boring Alice. She's like, I didn't win anything. Okay, the bags and other winners. We have 4 winners there as well. The first is number 56, who is Chachi42. You won the beautiful hand-knit ear warmer. And I'm blanking on her name right now. Knits by Jamie? Yes. She has an Etsy shop, really well priced. So this could be for you. You could save it for a gift. It's a really cool item. And then the winner of the Jan Smiley bag, which I have in my hot little hands. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. The Jan Smiley bag is going to go to Packy Knits 1. That was number 31. So PM me, everybody. Number 49, you won a pattern from Corinne Walker, who is Gingy, and she has beautiful patterns out there. You are not going to be disappointed. So that winner is Sharbie, Sharbie. Congratulations to you. And the final winner was number 46, Smoky Bow. You won the Naughty Knitter bag, which is gorgeous, and thank you to the Naughty Knitter, and to Gingy, and to Jan Smiley, and to Knits by Jamie, and to Wandering Wool, and to my fiber fairy mother. Did I say that right? Yes. And to Sarah, and to A Riot of Color. You're amazing. Thank you for supporting the podcast and giving gorgeous things for me to give away to my wonderful, wonderful viewers and friends and members of Fibertown, its own community. So yay! I still enjoy podcasting. I look forward to it. And I plan to do it for the foreseeable future. Yay! And I don't know if you can see these little ears down here. She is settled in. Let's get a peek. Let's get a peek at Alice. Where's Alice? There you are. Little nugget. There you go, little nugget. Okay. On to finished objects. Speaking of Wandering Wool, this is in the picture. Speaking of Wandering Wool, I finished some socks. Oh yeah, I finished my socks. You want to smell them, Al? They're clean. Okay, I have been wearing these. I've washed them already, even though this one doesn't have its ends woven in. Look how tall they are. The pattern is the Bleather socks, which is my pattern, one of my sock patterns. This is probably the simplest sock pattern I have out. And it's my usual recipe for the heel and everything else. Top down 64 stitches on a US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters. So this is a Wandering Wool. It's a rainbow gradient. It starts out as a sock blank, and then she winds it. And so it's in a cake when you buy it. So this was a wool nylon blend, and I loved it. Okay, I loved it. Colors look better back here, more true, I think. So they don't match perfectly. You can see, I don't know how well you'll be able to see because the red and orange don't show up very distinctly on the screen. They do in real life for sure. The orange is much more of a orange like the fruit. But I think what made them, because they should be identical, or they have the ability to be identical in the way that they're dyed. But I did more on this one. I did more stockinette rows before I started the broken garter. And here I pretty much started the broken garter right away. So just that little bit of difference sort of threw everything off. They weren't matchy-matchy, but you know me. That's just fine. So, for example, the heel on this one is much more yellow than the heel on this one, which has a lot more green in it. But they're squishy. I love this stitch. The stitch pattern makes a super squishy fabric. Just want to do this all day. So yeah, I think these are the fastest socks I ever knit. Well, is that true? It may be up there with the fastest socks I ever knit. The first one took me forever. The second one I did in like 4 days, which is amazing for me. And that is because I have a theory why I'm a slow sock knitter now. And it kind of dawned on me as I was doing the second one. Here's my theory. Sock knitting for me is always purse knitting, car knitting, emergency knitting. It's not ever something that I focus on exclusively. It's like backup knitting. It's like what I knit when I can't knit the thing I really want to knit, you know? Therefore, they take forever because I'm not devoting good quality time to them. So when I do, I saw all these people at the Virginia Beach Yarn Getaway, and they were just motoring on their socks. And you just have to give the sock the time it deserves if you want to finish it fast. And that means a solid couple hours on it frequently. So, yeah, I was able to knit it pretty fast when I was able to do that. And they're really long. I mean, imagine what I could do with usually my socks are the cuff is about half that height. So there's hope for me in my socks. Okay, my other FO is in my little Namaste pouch, which I love. This is the coolest thing to throw in my purse with one little barn raising square in there. I have the instructions, I have the needles using double points, and I have the stitch markers. And it's waterproof. I throw it in my purse. It's tiny, I barely feel like I have a knitting project. It doesn't take, it just doesn't take up room. So this is the one I finished this week. It is out of the unicorn tail that I bought at, what was that place called? The Yarn Club in Virginia Beach. And that's a Madeline Tosh Merino Light. It's hard to get a true color here, but this is really a beautiful color. And yeah, so this is square number 8. I'm getting up there. I don't know how many you need. I guess you could go for as many as you would like, but at least 50, 60, 40, I don't know. I need to look at the pattern, don't I? That would help. Okay, it'll be whatever I want though. And I'm very into this color lately, the glazed pecan kind of color. And you'll see some more of that later. Oops. Sorry, that's my bus alarm to go to the bus stop. Yeah, there's no bus. The mailman got stuck. Alrighty. That's it for FOs. All right. works in progress. Before I do that, I've messed with my hair and now it's crazy looking. Okay. Oh, before I move on, this is what I'm going to use for my next barn raising square. It's Vesper Sock, also from Knitbricks, for our Minerva turkey swap. And this is the Socktober Spooktacular. So I'll be casting that on. Does that fit in here? Let's see. Okay, it does. Yay! I need to wind it though. Lately I've been winding a lot of things by hand. I don't know. I'm too lazy to go to the skein winder. Set it up. I'm lazy like that. Okay, let's look at the sock yarn blanket, shall we? The jingles this week. I have, oh, hang on. I have stitches falling off the current needle. This is, I'm doing a big square, which is the equivalent of 4 smaller squares. You can see it right there. That's the back. There we go. So it borders 4 squares. And that is some of Yogurt's fleece that I dyed purple. It's a 4-ply fingering. So small. And I really like it, although it's too tight a gauge for this particular yarn. It's, you know, it's just a bit of a swatch. But I would go up probably 2 needle sizes. And I think, hang on, I think I could wear a sweater out of this. Maybe like a coat type sweater would be a good use for Yogurt's fleece. And definitely a thicker yarn. All right, so what have I accomplished on this since the last episode? I did another big square out of, oh gosh, I think this was a Regia. And this was also from my swap partner. It was called Summer Fruits something. It looks a bit like watermelon. It has a soupçon of watermelon to it. And let's see, this was a mixed square, this blue one. The top is Wandering Wool, because I did do some yarn management in my rainbow socks, so I pulled out some of the blue. And then this bottom one is Copper Corgi Jones Street Sport. Well, that was hard to say. And that it was lovely. It's an alpaca silk merino blend. Oh, this one. I might have showed that last week. It's a wool silk blend. And then this was another Wandering Wool, blues and purples. Okay, what else? Sorry, Al. She's not appreciating being covered in sock yarn blanket ends. I know, just chill. It's all good. Ooh, this was, this one right here is Koigu. And I made, what was it called? A sock yarn baby sweater by Hannah Fettig for one of my friend Leanne, for her son when he was born. That's a great baby sweater if you haven't tried it. And then this one from my swap partner, Lemonade Shop. I knit my last barn raising square out of that, and I had a little bit left over. Yeah, that's it for the week. So you guys got to see a bit of the blanket. And yeah, I've sort of opened my mind to using more bigger squares. I think they lend character to the finished blanket, so oops, stuck to that. What else is a work in progress? Okay, in this adorable bag by Holland Knits. And I will be giving one of very similar bag away next week. Isn't it adorable? I'll tell you more about it then, but she has an Etsy shop. There will be a coupon code. I will tell you next week when I do the giveaway. You know what? I should do the giveaway No, I'm going to do the giveaway today. It might require me bumping Alice from my lap and running over there to get the stuff, but yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. I was thinking I was going to save it, but no, I don't think I will. Okay, so I am knitting the Foolproof, which is a cowl by Louise Zass Bangham. This has been on my list to do since last summer. In fact, I took the yarn to Spain with me and just never cast on. Let me show you what it looks like completed. And then you're going to look at what I have and you're going to be like, what? Okay, so the completed foolproof looks like this. Yeah. It was originally a mystery knit-along. Oh, goody, I'm in the middle of a row. Mine is being knit out of, so it's in this cute little Holland Knits bag, and it's a drawstring. How terrible is that? Mine is being knit out of some handspun, which is why I'm giving extra credit for handspun cowls. So this is Gourmet Stash handspun. It is, and the colors are not coming up true. The green is showing very brown, and it's not brown at all. Oh, that's somewhat closer, but not really. Okay, so it's her 50/50 yak silk in the Waterweed and the Samhain colorways, and those are Outlander inspired colorways. And these just needed to be knit, and they're making a beautiful fabric. I'm using US 5 needles, which I never remember what they are. 3.5, no, sorry, US 4 needles, which are 3.5 millimeters. And yeah, it looks like a triangular shawl, right? Apparently there's some wizardry that happens in the pattern and it turns into the cowl that you saw. So, it's so nice. 50/50 yak silk. Let me see if they show up better in the balls. Yeah, it's pretty good. What about this one? Don't know why you're getting those brown tones, but the green is showing up better here. I think somehow the shadows where the yarn hits the ball are coming up black or brown. So I have about 300 yards of each, so it should be ample wool. Actually, there's no wool. Ample yak. Do I have any other works in progress? Yes, I have one other. In my Jan Smiley bag. My bird bag. One of my Jan Smiley bags. I have two now. This is a little project I'm doing with Ann Budd. There she is, Ann Budd. So with the help of the numbers in here, and my friend Sarah, and Vicky from Heartland Knits, who's giving me advice on Instagram, I'm sort of knitting a sweater as I go. And I'm going to steek it. So I'm using Loft, Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the Long Johns colorway. I adore this. I've been wearing my Loft mittens a lot lately. They're so lightweight and warm, which is what I love about woolen spun yarns. I love how lightweight the garment is and how warm it is at the same time. And I saw a sweater out of Loft at the Virginia Beach Yarn Getaway in the Try It On room. I adore it. I adore the whole feel of it. So, here it is so far. It's going to be bottom up. These are my steek stitches right here, between those two markers. How many? 6 of them. 6 steek stitches. So I'm doing a garter band hem, and I'm going to put it on 2 needles after I finish that, just to see if my math is actually right and it's going to fit me. And then on each side of the button band, there are going to be twisted stitches and purl stitches. And then probably in the collar as well. And then it's going to be a raglan increase. So it's going to be a bottom-up raglan. Should probably do a top-down, but figure there's enough going on. I don't want to reverse engineer this particular idea. At any rate, I'm going to do something fancy with the raglan increases, maybe twisted stitches on either side. I love twisted stitches. So that's the general idea. I think the collar will also have, no, never mind. See, I'm still making it up. Wish me luck. As Janice Ficker says, what could go wrong? I got to hang out a lot with Janice at the Virginia Beach thing, and she was awesome. All right, so it's going back in my Jan Smiley bag, and Anne needs to go back in there too, so they stay together. Actually, I don't think I need Anne for a while, but yeah. So I'm going to be cutting that thing. to be a while, but I just couldn't see doing a back and forth fingering weight sweater. All that purling. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to knit it in the round and then cut it open. And then I don't know if I'll crochet or machine the steek. I might do a machined steek because I don't know, the loft seems pretty easy to maneuver. And thin, would fit under the foot of the sewing machine pretty well. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never cut a steek. So it's going to be a learning thing. Okay, on to spinning. So I also got to hang out with Copper Corgi quite a bit in Virginia Beach. And I finished spinning, okay, this color is completely wrong. I finished spinning her, it just glows, doesn't it? Alpaca silk. Now, this did not have a colorway name, and I gotta say, this is beautifully prepared and dyed. Alpaca silk is not for beginner spinners, okay? Okay. Take notes, people. This stuff was, it's definitely, alpaca can be challenging just because it can sort of slip by itself, It doesn't grab itself as much as wool does. That didn't sound right. It doesn't grab itself. You know what I mean. So this, just suffice it to say, I'm not going to say anything else about it before I say something I regret. It's a challenging fiber blend to spin, but the results are well worth it. And this would probably be a hat, because I just think that would make an amazing garter stitch hat. Maybe the cattywampus that I've been meaning to make for weeks now. So, yeah, let's see. I'm also spinning some of my Little Lammy fleece. The little locks, I should have brought a raw lock, the ones that look like crinkle fries. I threw some of those in dye pots when I had my fiber camp and I had all that dye left over. And I dyed them this color, sort of a russet, spicy orange color. And then I combed them. And I hadn't tried combing these locks before. And I really like the results. Let me open up this little nest here. Yes, I had been flicking them and then drum carding them. And that's, I think, just one step too many in the process. This is not the best example of my little nests, but I think it's faster to comb them. And they're so squishy and soft. And so I've been spinning this, and I have a bunch more like this to spin. And this color I'm really liking. I have my Volmaiza lace sweater is out of a very similar color. And I've gotten so much wear from that thing. Now I have a sweater quantity of this Dorset Down Frisian blend from Meduseld, my friends at Meduseld. And I think this color would be perfect for this. I've been trying to figure out what to do dye-wise with this. And I think it's a color, I can maybe make that pumpkin ale. Anyway, that's what it is. It's a pumpkin color. I think that would be stunning. So these two might combine and meet. So the Cotswold Coopworth lamb is spinning very finely. I think it would make amazing shawl yarn, like a lace shawl, and that's what I might do in the long run with that. So I don't know if I'll dye. I probably won't dye any more of it. I have tons of that fleece. I have so much. And really, in the next few months, I'm going to focus on my fleeces. I'm going to get the rest of my Rhinebeck fleece washed, and then I'm just going to work on processing. Because I'm pretty sure I'll be bringing home more fleeces. And I really don't. I have baskets full of not raw fleece, but washed fleece. Fleece to be processed. So I think it's like the sock, when I devote myself to it, I get it done. So I just need to put in the time, and I enjoy it, so why not? Anyway, that's it for spinning. Up and coming, I ordered my Maryland Sheep and Wool catalog. It's that time of year again. I went on the website. You can order it. It's $5. I think it does support the festival to some extent. And Maryland is free to get in, which means that there are no lines. when you get there in the morning. But they do need donations, so consider donating to Maryland Sheep and Wool. And the catalog is a place to start, and they do have a donate option alongside when you buy the catalog. Okay, up and coming also is History Unwound in Williamsburg, Virginia. I leave a week from tomorrow. I'm going to take the train down like I used to when I went to college there. And this is at the Williamsburg Inn. I will be taking two classes. I'll talk more about them. Well, will I talk? Yeah, I guess I'll record next week as well. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of the teachers. I'm very excited. It may end up being audio interviews. I don't know yet. I really need to figure it out. Because I don't know how people will react to being videoed, I've done this 101 times now. I'm kind of used to it. But not everyone is, so it might be an audio format. We'll see. I'm very excited about that. It looks like a lot of fun. So yeah. Okay. Last week's Ask Fibertown. I left out something really important when I talked about my other hobbies. Anyone want to guess what it is? Anyone? I had it written down. I had my list of awesome things. It's reading. I read everything and anything. I really don't have something that's my favorite genre to read. I love all genres. I am without bias when it comes to reading, unlike music. I read fiction, I read nonfiction. I will say that there are peaks and troughs to my reading, and I think I'm in a trough right now, which is maybe why I didn't mention it. And it tends to go in years. I use our local library a lot. I find a book I want to read, I hear about it, I go on the library website and reserve it, and then I just walk in and pick it up when it arrives, and they email me. And I think probably in the past, 9 months, really haven't been doing that. I'm a big rereader, and I have a decent library. Let me show you. It's my granny's rocker. There's my Outlander books. So yeah, that's not everything. Oh, there's my yarn. But I reread books that make me happy. And I tend to be a very fast reader, which is why I can read a lot. So I find that I often get something out of the second or third or 10th reread that I missed the first time. So, yeah, that's something else I usually do. Not very much at the moment, but I usually read a lot. Okay, so the question for this week was question number 44 in Fibertown, and Ask Fibertown. And that is from, hang on a sec, let me bring it up. I always like to read these verbatim so I don't put words in people's mouths. This is from The Knitting Samurai. I just want to make sure I have her username right. She has an awesome podcast. Steph is her name. Okay. Ask Fibertown. Okay. Knitting Samurai. You've knit a lot of sweaters. What makes a good sweater yarn? Cables work best with what type of yarn? I'm knitting a cabled sweater with Cascade 220 and wish I had better stitch definition. What would you recommend? I've never knit a cabled sweater out of Cascade 220. I knit my Hero partially out of it. But this is out of Cascade Eco Wool, which is like the Aran weight version, I think. And I love how the cables pop on this. In the back, they're pretty awesome too. You can't really see them, but I love the stitch. Do you think this is good stitch definition? I think so. I think this is a 2-ply, and typically I would say a 3-ply, which is a rounder yarn. The cables will sit on top of the fabric and be more visible. But for some reason, this really, really knits up nicely in cables. I've knit 2 of these. This is the Ede by Cerelia Rose. This is the one that has the pockets. So I love this yarn. I have one more sweater quantity of a dark purple, and I have something in mind for it. Don't know when it will happen, but let's see. I don't know. This is something I want us to crowdsource in the episode thread. If you have input about a yarn that you think is a good sweater yarn, chime in, please. Put a post under the episode 101 thread. Some other yarns that I've knit into sweaters that I think are amazing for their stitch definition are, this is Dream in Color Classy. Yeah. This is my Hallett Sledge, and this is a few years old, and this is held up really well. Isn't that gorgeous? This is a Twist Collective pattern by Eleanor somebody. I can't remember the designer's name entirely. Of course, it is one of those kettle dyes that you do have to alternate skeins with. So I really like Dream in Color Classy. Let's see, a tweed yarn I find, like I knit my bare branches out of a tweed. Gives them more like flat fabric, almost where the stitches aren't even visible. Like it's just uniform, you know? So I would not recommend something like that for a heavily cabled sweater. But it's a different look, you know, so it really kind of depends on what you want. Maybe you need to, I don't know. I don't know why your cables aren't popping. I'm sorry. As I said, the loft is great for, it has that kind of tweedy flat matte effect, which is probably, it's better for color work, things like that. So if you want to do cables, you're not going to use the same yarn as you probably would for color work. Although there are some that could go for both applications. So it really depends on the type of sweater, and some yarns are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Multi-purpose than others. So I think Miss Babs Yowza also is a pretty amazing yarn for stitch definition. Although I haven't knitted cables with it, I have knit some lace, and it was gorgeous. What? One sweater I saw, I have found that I do not really enjoy sweaters out of a heavier, like a worsted weight, worsted spun yarn. They're big, they're heavy, they kind of weigh on me. So like a Malabrigo Rios or a Madeline Tosh Vintage, those bigger worsted style yarns, worsted weight and worsted style, so less lofty. I'm just not a fan. I like a fingering weight worsted spun, like say a Malabrigo sock. A sweater out of that would be amazing. I really love the fine gauge and smaller yarns, garments. They're a bear to knit. And one other sweater yarn, and then I'll stop talking about it. One other sweater yarn I love is Wollmeise. And I have a sweater out of a breezy cardigan out of Wollmeise lace, and that thing has gotten almost constant use since I knit it 3 or 4 years ago. And I've given it a break recently, but that stuff is awesome. Wears like iron, throw it in the washing machine, comes out fine. Just as an aside, I have started washing almost all of my woolen socks, sweaters, everything in the washing machine. I have a front loader, and I have a cycle that's hand wash / wool. Okay, they're not joking, it works. I have put fibers in there that felt like crazy. It's seriously like a hand wash. So I'm super excited. I use it all the time now. Excuse me. Okay, I have a sleeping darling here. I'm gonna let her stay on screen if she can stand up, while I go and grab, oh no, I don't need to grab it, it's right here. Yay, yay. Okay, yeah, you should wake up, lazy bones. Okay, as I said, look at this cute card. Holland Handmade. She has a podcast. Oh gosh, she sent me a coupon code. I have to look it up. She is Erin from Michigan, Holland, Michigan to be exact. And of course, so I had to pick the bag with the tulips because, you know, Holland. And I love tulips. So Erin was so generous. She contacted me and said, can I send you some bags? And she has adorable fabrics. This is the one I'm giving away. It's got this super cute plaid with this really adorable floral on the border and on the inside. Oh, these are fun. You can fold them over and they're like a little basket. Cute. Or just use it as a drawstring. It's a really unusual drawstring, but I really like it. And you guys are going to like it. These are super well priced. So I will start a thread and I'll probably have you go to her shop and say, you know, what appeals to you from her shop. And then post about it in the thread. And then I will be giving this one away next week to some lucky winner. It's very well made, quality materials. And she has a coupon code for no postage, which if you go and look, like her bags are very, very affordable. So Erin is super nice to do this. Hey, you stay, don't go. Her coupon code is all caps, free ship, FREESHIP. And that is for Fibertown viewers only. Okay. So go ahead and check out her shop. Super cute. And her podcast on YouTube. I've watched an episode or two and they're adorable. She does interesting stuff. I really like watching her. So, okay, Alice. Did we talk about everything? Did we talk about all of the things? Is it going to stop snowing soon? What's that? No, it's snowing a little less hard. This is a long podcast. Alice, we jabbered on. We just jabbered on and on and on. Do you remember when we went walkies today? Yeah. And then you came home and you rubbed your face all over the carpet. She took a few headers in the snow and she came up with a big snow beard. Big white snow beard. Yeah, you put on your coat and your leash and your collar. I'm only doing this because so many of you said you loved it. When she tilts her head. Cocks your head. So Alice, you gonna go play out in the snow? You haven't been out in a while. We have to shovel another path. I shoveled this morning, but there have been about 5 inches since then. So should we go outside and have dinner? Or have dinner and go outside? Or maybe a cookie? Remember when you had a cookie and you twirled? It's pretty awesome. You want to try it again? Ready? Twirl, twirl, twirl. Yay, good girl. It's a fake cookie. You gonna bite me? 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 Yeah, she's gonna bite me. Okay, we better cut this off. Okay, till next week. You all take care. Bye-bye.